guys, how you doing? Now it's time to talk about this guitar. I'm usually, well, what I am really is a Les Paul guy. You know, a lot of guitar players out there have their guitars they love to play. I happen to like Les Pauls. It's my favorite guitar shape. Um, I like the short scale length compared to a Fender guitar, and I like the double humbuckers as opposed to single coils or whatever. And I also like the beefy weightiness of the guitar. I'm just a Les Paul guy forever. I started with a Les Paul and eventually made my own guitars, which are like this guy right here. Wait, this was it's obviously a Les Paul style shaped guitar, and I played this guitar in, I don't know, 200 gigs with my band. It's got EMG pickups in it, and even the guitar, my main, what I consider my main guitar now is my ESP, which is also is a Les Paul style shaped guitar with the shorter scale. So why Telly? Well, here's the deal. I live in Houston. I work at Allparts, and Allparts sells licensed Fender products, necks, bodies, of various types, Strats, Tellys, Jazzmasters, whatever. And in my past, I had actually made several guitars. I made maybe 25 instruments. And at one point, I was actually working towards starting my own guitar business. And as life goes, you know, stuff didn't go the way I expected to, and voila. So I kind of dropped it for a while. Then I started working at Allparts, and being around guitars like this all day long, it's my natural tendency to just go back to, all right, it's time to build some guitars. The original guitars I made, the original guitars that I made before literally started as a pile of wood, and these are all pre-made products. And what I'll do is I'll go ahead and list these products down below. Now, I work at Allparts, but this is not an Allparts commercial. They did not ask me to make this video, and I will tell you what I feel about, how I really feel about the parts. But why a Telly? As we had a Telly there. Now there's guitars all over the place, both manufactured and parts that we build, because they're always testing parts. They got to make sure they fit, and as they continue to develop more stuff, it has to fit guitars. It just makes total sense, right? So there's guitars hanging all over. We do have a Fender a Fender Telly that I thought I was playing. I decided I kind of liked it. So I'm like, yeah, I think I'll give it a try. Go ahead and build one. But the thing is, I'm still a Les Paul guy. I still want humbuckers. I'm a metal guy, and I never really thought of a Telly as a metal guitar. It's kind of silly. I just never thought of it that way. Obviously, that's totally wrong. You play metal on any guitar that you want. Look what John 5 does with the Telly. I mean, dude's off the charts awesome. But the thing about it is, I'm not really a single coil guy. So this particular guitar is based on a Telly Deluxe. Telly Deluxe having the two humbuckers in it. The interesting thing about the Deluxe, this particular body, is it's routed like a Les Paul. So it's routed for two humbuckers. It's routed actually for 4 potentiometers, 2 volumes and 2 tones, and then it's got a spot for the toggle switch, 3-way toggle switch for the pickups. Well, that's pretty cool, man. I could totally do that. That was my plan. So I got this body, of course. Most of the parts came from Allparts. The body I got from Allparts, the neck. Now, the body, though, while they sell lots of really nice bodies that are pre-finished, this one was not finished. And I decided, that's my preference. I really enjoy the finishing process. And so I got one that I had to do. And then the neck, I was able to get, it was a traditional or vintage style Telly neck with a rosewood fingerboard. Well, as I do, I couldn't leave it the way it was. So the original fingerboard comes with, white dots. So I drilled them out and put green dots in to match the guitar. The original fingerboard actually had a vintage, much thinner frets, so I pulled those frets out and put in the the railroad tracks, because the biggest it has, because why not? Um, yeah, and the other issue, oh, and the tuning machines. I was gonna put the True Tune machines on here, which are the All Parts branded machines, and they're nice machines. These happen to be Goto locking 510s. Really nice tuners, and the reason I put these on instead of the True Tunes is because I got a really good deal on these, and so far I really like them. So I got the tuning machines at All Parts, the neck, the body, um, the pot. Now, here's the thing. So Les Paul's, this guitar is actually routed for 4 pots. Well, as you can see, it's got 1 pot. The only pot it has is a volume for the pickups. That's it. And the reason for that is because I never used tone. Never. 20 some odd years, I've never used tone. It's always on 10. I never change it. Never. So I don't even bother. So if I'm not going to build a guitar that I'm going to sell, I don't even bother with, with tone pots. Just volume. So all I need, and 99% of the time, that's on. It's either on 10 or I'm not playing. That's just my style, so I don't see the point. And honestly, Yngwie and Paul Gilbert do it this way. Good enough for them, certainly good enough for me. So that's it. The pickups are All Parts Razor line. They were designed in Texas. They're built in Japan. And they're the hottest pickups that All Parts sell. This is like an 18, I don't know, 7, and this is like a 16-7 or something like that. So I got the hottest pickups I could find there, because why not? The bridge is a Wilkinson bridge. Now All Parts sells Wilkinson stuff, but they didn't have a black one. I had to have black. So I ended up getting one on Amazon. It says Wilkinson. It's not. Some cheap Chinese knockoff. Whatever. I'm going to deal with it. I ended up changing the saddles out. There's the in-tune saddles. Super nice saddles. For a couple of different reasons. One of the things I did do, though, was instead of putting the 3-way toggle switch like a Les Paul has, I used a standard 3-way blade switch like you would see normally on a telly. So that's kind of fun. Now keep in mind, this is not a Telecaster. This is a Partscaster. And all this stuff is licensed by Fender, but it is not Fender products. Important to know. Biggest problem I had was the pick guard, because this stuff attaches to the pick guard. All the pick guards for this model guitar come pre-drilled with 4 holes in them for all the pots, and I did not want that. Tried making my own. That ended up a total disaster. Then I got on eBay. I managed to actually find a deluxe Tele pick guard from some Chinese company that had it cut properly, and it had the cutouts for the pickups, and that's it. I'm like, I couldn't believe how lucky I got. So all I did was drill a hole for the pot and put a slice in there in the holes for the switch. So all I had to do was perfect. I was like, how lucky can you get on that? So that was pretty sick. Now the color, I went with obviously a green burst, and I wasn't sure what color to make it. And then I was watching something blipped on TV. It was Slash, I think, playing it. I don't know, Hall of Fame thing, or not Hall of Fame. Yeah, a Rock and Roll Hall of Fame thing or something like that. Anyway, he had a green Les Paul. I'm like, sick. And that's when I'm like, I'm going to go with green. Now, All Parts does not sell the green dye like this. Fortunately, my buddy Chris Herod over at StuMag went ahead and supplied me with the dye. So shout out to Chris over there. The black for the burst did come from All Parts, and then the lacquer itself, All Parts sells Nitrolac, which is out of Spain. It's supposed to be really nice stuff. I've shot with all kinds of different lacquers over the years. I've never tried that. I was going to, but we were out of stock on it. So I ended up getting this stuff from StuMag, of all places. And honestly, it went down super nice. Just really easy, nice, level. I was really surprised. It's hard to spray here in Houston because it's humid a lot of the year, but I did manage to get it done. So that's it. And then I, of course, sprayed the headstock. Like so, the back of the headstock. The neck, now my neck, I don't like lacquer on the neck. I prefer a natural feel. So what I put on there and what I always recommend for people is True Oil. It's gun stock oil. It works really, really well. It's a nice, slick feel. And, you know, if you felt the gun stock, you know exactly what it feels like. So I like that. And then the fingerboard just gets a little fingerboard oil. And that's the whole story. All right. So I loaded it up with 10s. I've played 11s forever. And recently I started playing 10s. And so I'm going to go back to 11s. This is what I had. And then the reason I changed the saddles out, one thing I discovered about Tellies, the saddles, each saddle on a standard Telly bridge holds 2 strings. Well, when you go to intonate the guitar, and what that means is you tune the string, and then when you hit the same string on the 12th fret, it should have, like if that's an E, then the 12th fret should be an E, and then A, and then the 12th fret should be an A, and so on and so forth. So the 12th fret should match the tuning of the string, and intonating that is you move the saddles back and forth to adjust it so it works that way. So that way when you play an E here, and you know this is an E here, or whatever. Well, when you're adjusting to do that, when you're moving the saddle and you're adjusting 2 strings at the same time, it gets messed up. And I'm like, what the hell? So when I make the E right, then the A is wrong. If I make the A right, the E is wrong. So I discovered through YouTube that you have to, and a good buddy of mine, that you have to just kind of find a happy medium between the two. So when you look at the history of the Telly, if it's got an original bridge like this, none of them are really intonated properly. I just never thought about that, which is kind of funny. So anyway, that's the story. And these particular saddles are cut in such a way they make intonating it better. And so that's why I changed the saddles out. So that's the story with this thing. But the big deal with this, which blew my mind, were the pickups. I've been playing EMGs for, I don't know, 20 years. All the full-size guitars I ever made have EMG pickups. My band even had an endorsement back in the day with EMGs. We didn't get the freebie endorsement, but we got really good deals from the guys at EMG, super great people. So I've been playing EMGs forever. I love it. I'm a metal guy, and it just worked. When I plug these things, these pickups rock. They are killer, man. Their output is intense. They're passive. There's no battery, so that's nice. And they're just killer. They're really high output. I like the sound of them. I mean, just, you know, my amp's set up for my EMGs. Well, just plugging these right into the way the amp was set up for the EMGs, it sounded great. So I'm really happy with the pickups. Overall, I can endorse all these products. The neck's super high quality, feels great, even though I did change a lot. The bodies are great. Everything bolted together the way it's supposed to. If you get one that's pre-finished, they got a lot of really cool colors over there and whatever. You can put together your own guitar, and it's all high quality stuff. This isn't like the $200 Temu kit. It's high quality stuff. 100% endorsement on that. And these pickups are killer. I totally can recommend them. They are, I'll have a link below, but they are the razors, and these particular 2 are the hottest ones that that they make over there at Allparts. All right, man, that's it. The guitar rocks. I'm working on a couple of strats. I'll be throwing on here, and we can check it out. One of the strats is going to have EMGs in it, so we're gonna rock that. That's it, man. Let's get back to it. Thanks. If you have any questions, feel free to hit me up. Take care.